I forgot to unmute us. That's very unop-like for me. So, welcome
Ah,
back, everybody. Thanks for the 2 minutes, or not even 2 minutes. It's barely 45 seconds of silence that we just did. So,
yeah,
uh,
sorry.
so we're going to be jumping right into our battlegrounds clubs. We got roughly about 5 minutes before the lobby gets started. So, we're going to take a quick look at the standings right now. And who's playing. So we're going to be watching the Blue Lobby tonight. So Blue Lobby is going to be captained or started by Myanodon, as we mentioned in the live stream there. Followed up with Reverb in second with your Mum Kids, Agent PWE, Donde, Wash and Wind, Sharkbait, and Rice Bowl. All those players are representing their various teams. The Concede Your Match, Donde 8th, Friends of Bob, and Team Phantom Forces, which is their first time being on stream. She's in the past, what? This is week 4, correct?
Yes, week
Yes.
4.
So, did you want to go over the teams real quick just to
Yeah,
announce
I could
who's
definitely
first and
roll us
such?
in. So, first off, so our lobby leader, you've got Don 8th. Playing for Don 8th is going to be Don Day and Myanna Don. Coming in for Friends of Bob, we've got Reverb and Wash in the Wind. We've got Team Phantom Force. Coming at you is Shark Bait and Rice Bowl. And last but certainly not least in our hearts, Concede Your Match is your Mumked and Agent PWE.
Right.
So this is an interesting split because all of those teams outside of Don 8th are kind of out of playoffs at the moment. Friends of Bob, Team Phantom Force, and Concede Your Match are all in the bottom 3 at the moment in the standings, fighting slowly but surely a way back. I mean, it is very tight in points. Fourth placed is 115, with Concede Your Match currently bringing up the rear with 98 points. It's extremely plausible that they can catch
Yeah.
and just do an absolute amazing time. So the top 3 teams, Crafty Monkeys, Risky Refresh, and Daryl and Flurgle, they're in the other lobby. You don't got to worry about them tonight. So all of those powerhouse overperforming teams, people who are very well tenured, might have a really good grasp on what we're seeing at the new battlegrounds. You don't worry about them. You can just kind of sit back, play your game, and
Yeah.
maybe take advantage of the situation that you're not against any of these like heavy hitters.
And the way things have been, like, we still got another, what, 3, I want to say it's 7 weeks. So it's 7 weeks total for the season. So we got still another, what, 4 weeks left, I believe, including this week.
Tonight would be week 4, and then we have 5, 6, and 7. So we're pretty much
At the
halfway
halfway,
through.
right? So
Yeah, I would say like dead on halfway, I guess, because once this split is over, Sunday would be the halfway point.
hey, I knew we were
So
doing something right.
yeah, we're close. I'm excited. It's gonna be. I've been playing a little bit of Battlegrounds, just on my phone, on my lunches, as the new ones have come out,
Yep.
as I've got my THL games done. And there is some very extremely broken stuff right now, but there's also some really cool new interactions that can be played. So I'm curious to see if our participants are going to be able to really find the best way to abuse some of these extremely powerful cards
Hmm.
and minion types that have been introduced.
So, what do you are you? Have you been a victim of, or a one that provides the punishment for the new trigger word, the avenge?
So, Avenged is an interesting card right now, or a card keyword,
Keyword. Yep.
because it it works really well on some minions. So there's the Avenge 3 minion that gives you 3 demons. That works really well because as you're playing demons, you're also playing demons that are going to die and spawn more demons. So it's very easy to get those Avenge buffs in. But there are some other Avenge mechanics, such as the Elemental one, Whereas you need elementals to die, and then elementals in Bob's Tavern slash whoever is your bartender get 1 + 1 + 1. So it's Chef Nomi, but with a
Come in.
caveat.
There's always
So I think
something
the event
new
mechanic
here.
overall is good based off of what you want to build. There are some that are not good, there are some that are great. So that's kind of what you like to see with the mechanic. It's not overly burdened, it's not that everyone's pushing and shoving for it.
Right.
I also like that there's a keyword in Battlegrounds now and not just, blood gems or Dark Moon Fair prizes or a brand new minion type. I think introducing a keyword to Battlegrounds is a fantastic idea that has been overlooked, and it just adds an additional aspect to Battlegrounds in total.
All right. So just looking at the blue lobby right now, making sure that we get people being invited. My Anodon's being very friendly, saying he's online according to his friends list. So we should be getting started fairly soon. Any heroes that you want to see in this particular lobby?
Well, I don't know if I want to see many, but there definitely is more heroes you're going to see. As if you were here 10 minutes ago, we were going over just like a quick and dirty of what's happening with Battlegrounds. The two newest heroes, Carol Rome and
Master Wen. Yep.
Master Wen, Master Nugent. You actually, if you have the battle pass, somebody is always offered one of those heroes. So I expect to see Master Nugent pretty much every single game. Outside of that, I'd really love to see some like just top notch. I would love everyone to get a really good hero. So I'm talking Olmu's, Daryl's, um, the flight path guy, the bird. I don't even know what his name is. Gale Wing, Cthulhu. I would just like to see a top tier, amazing, and just let these guys and girls smash it out.
Okay. Sorry, I was just typing into blue lobby there. And you're answering Donde. Okay, perfect. So they're doing a ready check. We got 5 out of the group. So now we
Yeah,
wait.
slowly but surely we'll be getting in.
So we got Donde, Myanodon, Wash in the Wind, Sharkbait, and Reverb. So we're just waiting for Agent PWE, your mom kid, and who's the other one that's missing? Rice Bowl. So 3 people.
3 people. Just a quick washroom break for some of the combatants there, and then we will be hopping on in. I think I'll just jump into my Anodon, the lobby leader, right off the bat.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually just view our Rice Bowl. See what happens with Rice Bowl once they jump online there. So, oh yeah, gotta do the
Yep.
whole thing again. I forgot. Share my screen. Well, bam. You hear some funny sounds in the background there, folks. Let's stream, do things, hit the button. I almost sound like Mako there when he's trying to switch
Yeah.
switch titles. Yep. Do this thing, and we got 1, 2 seconds away.
Yeah, and we're live.
And
Hi.
we're good.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? He always reintroduces that
Yeah,
he's there and doing
yeah.
stuff.
I love Mako. He's a great captain, great friend. So, all right.
All right, they are rolling in, going to jump in on our lobby leader, Myanodon. Once I can have some eyeballs, there we are, diving in head first.
Okay. Perfect. Just hitting that live with battleground scene. So we are gonna watch Cord and do his magic. So,
Chico.
where am I going to spectate? Who am I spectating again?
That's a great question.
Anybody I want is the right answer.
Anyone at all.
We got Corden. Who do you have up on the screen right now?
So we got my Anodon. We've got Carol Rome, Lord Jiraxis, Nazoth, and Rashiku. We are going to take Nazoth. This is going to give him the 2-2 copy death rattles played this game. And starting from the top, going bottom down, we've got Rice Bowl on Janice Baroff, Sharkbait on Reno Jackson, Wash in the Wind on Elise Star Seeker. Donde has won the Nugent raffle. Reverb on Cthulhu, your Mumkin on Tess Greymane, my Anodon on Nazoth, and Agent PWE on AFK. In this lobby, you will not be seeing Quillbores, Elementals, or Pirates. That means we have dragons and demons, beasts and mechs. My 4 favorites. Murlocs are in for poison. It's going to be a battleground.
You sounded way too excited. I'm happy for that. Sharkbait.
Hey man, we got some great heroes.
We do.
This is exactly what I wanted to see. We've got Cthulhu, we've got Nugent, Reno, Jandis. Some of these heroes are very strong, and something like AFK or a test can definitely be piloted to the absolute extreme. Like it's gonna be a great series here. Very excited that our boy Donde gets the Nugent because that automatically means he will not be
4th or 8th.
He can't be 8th. There's no way. If Donde goes 8th with Nugent, I will be the utmost upset with him.
I would be very proud of him. That means he's done something that nobody else should have been able to do, and he's done it. So I'd be proud of him.
Yeah, I'll be interested. So my Anodon's going to have a basic first couple turns here. Does take the Tavern up. Does go into his teammate. Going to take a quick little victory, but not too bad. Getting hit for 3 points won't do too much, and it's actually very fortunate you get to face your hero or your opponent this early on. Bit of an awkward turn here. We do have the Frog Leaper, or the Leapfrogger, who was recently banned due to crashing games, but has since come back. The Fish of Nazoth, or Spawn of Nazoth, is actually a beast, so it will get the Leapfrogger's Death Rattle. So if on my Anodon, I'm probably picking up the Iron Sensei, or the Harvest Golem, sorry. Iron Sensei no longer in the game. Just want to get as many Death Rattles as possible, because when these Death Rattles do die, the Fish of Nazoth will acquire them for itself.
Hey.
All right, coming into Sharkbait's board here of Reno Jackson, just your standard board flood. Gonna see the pop on the Leapfrogger immediately right into the iron. Looks like it's gonna be a Myanodon win. Just barely. But barely is
Almost
good enough in these early turns.
That's right. All right. So I am spectating Rice Bowl. They picked Janice, as we see on the screen. So currently looking at a little bit of a. This is just a quick update while we're waiting for things to roll. Like we commented, where we wish there was a ready button. So we got a mech and a acolyte of Cthulhu there. So the 2 Murloc scouts.
Yeah, Jandis, really good for Jandis that Beast and Murlocs are in. So able to abuse the token aspect and really get tier triples very easily and quickly, utilizing that bounce mechanic. So my Anodon's going to pick up 2 more Death Rattles here, picks up the Impulsive Trickster as well as the Sewer Rat, just to try and help the Death Rattle Fish of Spawn of Nazoth, but honestly looking like in a very strong position. Very good death rattles for my Anodon here. A lot that can resummon with the sewer rat and the harvest golem. Coming into watching the wins board here, Kaboombot. I just think the death rattles might be a little too much, but the fish gets popped very early on. I still think it is going to be very favored towards my Anodon. Yes, it will be. That turtle is just too much.
Who'd have thought that the turtle would be too much?
All right, and my Anodon actually bouncing back into his partner, that is Donde, is very strong. 1 and 2 for the team, respectively. So I would assume my Anodon holds his Kaboombot back.
Mm-hmm.
Interested to see if he actually puts his fish first to try and minimize the damage dealt to Donde. I don't know what Donde looks like. On his side of the board, but I would assume my Anodon, undefeated currently, is going to be very strong versus him. Yeah, so fish goes first. That's very responsible. What a good teammate, my Anodon. All right, we'll probably finish this one up here with Donde and flip over to you on Rice Bowl.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect.
I just actually had to figure out the pronunciation for master. Whether it was
It's Nugent, right?
Nugent, but it's actually according to Google. So take this for what it's worth. South Vietnamese for win, WIN, or wen, WEN.
Well, I can tell you that New Jin is going to win more often than not. It looks like Bayana at the last minute might have put his fish back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Donde saying, I'm going to play a few more minions. So, very well done because not taking too much damage here is Donde. Again, just taking about 5 damage from his teammate. And you really can't argue with that.
No, that's pretty good lumps. So at this point in the game, so were we on turn 6? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So you want to
that's
jump
right.
over to Rice Bowl, who is
Yeah,
still in
we'll bounce over
James.
to Rice Bowl, who is doing Jandis things properly, holding on to these golden Murloc scouts in order to tavern up and just have an explosive turn, finding tier 5s or tier 6s. So, this turn could be looking to hero power or tavern up, sell and buy, and then go for some 5 drops here.
So the gold is just basically to farm all these gold things and just level up so you can get massive choices
Ooh.
such as this.
Brand, mackerel, and mama bear. Gonna take the brands and
Gotta take holy mackerel because it came up twice, right? That's the rule, right?
I think Crocolus
Yeah.
maybe. Oh, it's a difficult. So Crocolus is really good because I don't know how many beasts are on the board. We do take the mackerel. Oh, we do have the pup bot. So pup bot is good with holy mackerel.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I kind of like the Crocolus, if we had some beasts, uh, very easy to proc the Avenge on the Crocolus this early on. But Brand is going to be able to start spiraling, and Mackerel is a very good one because we are able to buff up the Mackerel very easily, and
Right.
there are quite a few mechs in the lobby, so grabbing some um, Divine Shields isn't unheard of. And actually, fighting Myanodon, who we just left,
Ooh.
and it looks like Myanodon's going to be taking a squeaky win again. Not hitting for much, but still remaining undefeated. And Rice Bowl getting ever so low, but at 17. So even with that 15 damage cap,
Mhm.
we're not going to see anybody going out very soon. But Rice Bowl is getting close.
I don't think we've ever streamed somebody being perfect, like not taking any damage, like a 40. Well,
Um,
be interesting if my Andon can get there, but it's really difficult, right?
So there is an achievement for, and there's the spicy, there's the pretzel mustard and spicy pretzel mustard. Why are they called that? I do not know. But basically, if you win every single one of your matches without taking damage, you get that achievement. I have not been able to do that one, but the spicy or the pretzel mustard, or wow, I can't remember what it's called. It's
Mm-mm.
basically don't take damage, so you can tie, you just can't lose,
Right.
which is difficult, but it is very doable for sure. Couple interesting turns here for Rice Bowl. Just going to start looking for these battle cries as you see. Hopefully, going to start getting out of control with this brand and starting to buff some things up. Ooh, actually
Wow.
sells off his Divine Shield bumper.
Just going
Looking for a
full ham on
triple.
Murlocs.
It's not. It's not bad. Because the mackerel is still
No.
fine. You can go into like a selfish if you do choose. If your rice bowl does just miss on that
Ooh.
last seafair end, man, Donde has a strong board as well. There's your chroma wing, as you were
Yep.
speaking about earlier. Um, Still just a little bit too large for rice bowl to deal with this board again. Damage cap's going to save Rice Bowl. I don't think he'll be getting the full 15, but this actually takes the win.
Takes
Oh
the
wow.
wow. That was
Massive turnaround there.
according to HSR. He was 94.5% chance to win.
So HSR is a little bit buggy right now. They
Yeah.
haven't quite fixed it. Some of the percentages are a little off kilter, but the damage that is done is quite on. Oh, there is an Annoyo module. You could see the
Nope.
no, just the only thing I think is he's going to be getting rid of this holy mackerel very soon. Oh
So,
my goodness, that is a brand board.
whew.
Swolefin.
I love that name, Swolefin.
Swolefin is the way to go. I think you're getting rid of these 812s here at this point. You don't care that they're golden. I know you like golden. It's shiny, it's fresh. Get rid of them. They're not as good
they're
as you think.
bums. They're annoyances.
Yeah. They're you could keep him. I don't mind selling the mackerel here. He hasn't invested into it, so it's
Yeah.
completely fine. Tide
Oh,
collar. There's a
another
swollen
swole.
golden, so we're gonna find another 5-drop.
Good
I love
heavens.
Seer as well. Really looking for the SI7 with this golden. Gets a brand. Okay, brand times 2.
Golden
Oh,
brand
I would
coming.
have liked to sell this other 3-6 here, get the other brand in, and start hitting these double
There's
double.
brand.
Oh, he hits the double brand. Go, 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 go. Rice Bowl is having an absolutely lights out turn here. Really, only thing he's missing is the SI7. I like that he's holding the brand back. He's not gonna. He's probably saying, "I don't have the time to pick the perfect one.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold back the brand."
And that's an interesting choice because from a beginner like myself, I would just throw that on the board thinking I would lose the advantage. But
I mean, brand's a 410 at the end of the day. If a 410 makes or breaks, the only thing that I would respect to see is that
Mhm.
it deals an additional 5 damage if he survived. Now you've got a 72-40 Swolefin. Outside of poison, there is literally nothing that is going to beat you at the moment.
Right.
Rice Bowl has just swung this ever so hard in his favor with this golden brand as well. Looking for this, but this is where I was saying the SI7, these Murlocs have to die,
Yeah.
right? In order to gain poison, you have to play things that have to die, and 3 of them have to die. So it's
So
going to be a tightrope between how he wants to play this forward Rice Bowl.
so you're almost low rolling or trying to low roll your Murlocs in order to activate that poison. Right? So you don't want them climbing any higher than what they are because they won't die. They'll hit
Yeah,
and
no,
then won't die.
exactly. You're gonna start trying to play your 10, like your 10-10 goes out first, 7, like you're
Yep.
you're gonna be playing bad things first, essentially. Also have to hope that your SI7 doesn't get sniped right from the beginning,
True.
because then it just doesn't matter. If it's just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got murked.
But yeah. So with that, we do see some people underneath Rice Bowl's health total. So we could finally see the first lethals of the game, and could honestly be a three-way tie for 8th at this rate. The style that this game has been going.
Yeah.
The important thing to remind people is that um, if so, let's for say Rice Bowl is at 17 here. He still can only take a maximum of 15 damage because nobody has died in the lobby previous to that moment. It's a very important thing to remember. So Rice Bowl knows that is he empty boarding this?
It seems. He's going against his teammate Sharkbait. Okay, that's the reason why.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's very respectable.
They're both low, so
They're both low. He is just hoping not to knock Sharkbait out here. Puts the Swolfen at the back just to kind of guarantee that, he doesn't die.
yeah.
I actually don't think he can knock Sharkbait out, even how strong he is at the moment. His Tavern is just not high enough, and Murlocs just don't hit for very hard.
Right. They're just a gradual chip damage, as we call it in standard.
So no eliminations at the moment.
Holy
son.
moly.
Wow.
Sharkbait
Like-
1 beat my Enidon with 8 damage to his face, so interesting. Didn't
Yeah, my Anadon is not going to get that perfect.
Yeah. So after this one, we'll flip over to whoever you're watching right
Yeah,
now.
I am on Agent PWE at the moment.
Okay.
So Agent is in 4th place at 14 health. There could be a massive exodus.
Can you imagine a 8-way tie?
I don't know what they would do. If I'm based, like my brain would explode. Poor base would have to deal with that. Like the points would just be negligible at that rate.
I guess so. It'd be just like, okay, so do we even bother playing the second lobby because we just went through some kind of weird miracle Hearthstone bug thing? So
Yeah, at most 3 people or 4 people can be knocked out here.
Yeah.
Just because somebody has to win in that bottom 5 spot.
Yeah.
Hamul picked up for Rice Bowl. Finally going to go in. Did just face his teammate. And
Siphon.
actually, did he just face his teammate?
Sharkbait was Rice Bowl,
Yes,
but
yeah.
yeah. So, but you're talking about Agent. Okay.
Nope. Talking to Rice Bowl.
Okay.
He did just face. So yeah, finally going in on these Murlocs. Guys, the Begurgles. Like this is insane. He doesn't even need the poison at this point in time. Just an amazingly strong board.
Holy crap, that's crazy.
Yeah, and taunting up the brand is very good too because it gives if you do want to find the Sevfin,
Yep.
the brand then dies and it adds to the death pool towards it.
Yeah.
Coming in my Anodon board here, and I mean, I think it's a good show, but I don't think my Anodon has a chance to really even take this one, and I don't think he'll be out. Although there are primordial
Holy.
fins.
I never seen that interaction before. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, the
turtle
buff going to the turtle and stuff, and just continuously jumping. It's a great shot. There might be a chance.
Wow.
It's just such big minions. He does too.
Tie.
Wow.
Okay.
The light or the death rattle on the Baron is just carrying my Anodon there. And we do have our first 2 lethals of the game.
Okay.
Watch in the Wind and Sharkbait going out in a tie for 8th place.
8th place. Okay. I'm gonna spectate. Who am I gonna spectate here? Reverb, I guess. What's
Perfect.
Reverb doing?
I'm coming into Agent PWE, who's actually coming into Reverb's board. So Agent just looks like waiting for some animations to end, looking to see what they want to do. Miradon is interesting, depending on who we just played, would be Donde in the Beast comp. So
Yep.
Going to overlook that. Has the menagerie jug in hand and deciding what he would like to do. I don't know if he's looking for a Baron Rivendare here. Uh, it's very interesting because you see the comps, how they differ. So, like, Myanodon had a very straightforward comp. You know, Bryce Bull had a very straightforward comp in Murlocs, but now Agent's kind of looking to scramble, and there's the Holy Mackerel. I don't think he got the freeze off.
No. Nope. All right. Double check.
Okay, so Divine Shield's getting popped off. Here goes the no bad cleave. Not going to kill anything. Yeah, it looks like Agent is going to take this one, and can Reverb clean enough off the board? It looks like he can to survive one more round. Gripping, but your Munken is knocked out
Ooh.
in the 6th position.
Wow.
All right, Agent PWE is going to be coming into the recently left Rice Bowl in the Murloc slot.
So what's
It's
what,
kind of
I was just gonna say, what's Agent PWE looking for here? Is he going up against? Yeah, he's going up against his teammate. No, he's not. Sorry, it's
no
Rice Bowl.
agents.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I believe the only teammates remaining are
Dead.
Donde and Myanodon.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. To be honest, I really don't know what he's looking for. I think he's kind of hoping to squeak a top 4, to be completely fair with you.
Okay.
He's got a good composition on the board here, but Amalgadon didn't roll poison, so you can't fix that anymore. You could give it a Divine Shield if you find the Annoya module. But I mean, you've got 2 mechs. Swolfin is a 16/16. I mean, he was just using the Rivendare to buff. Or sorry, not the Rivendare, the Light Fang to buff.
Yep.
Too many awkward death rattles. The 6/6 is interesting, but you only have one board the poison. I think I'm taking that poison. Yeah.
Right. That's gonna be it's gonna be the saving grace for anything that's thick on the left hand side of your screen. So
Yeah, but he is unfortunately about to roll into a very, very big board on the side of Rice Bowl, and it's just gotten worse. Rolls the poison on the Amalgadon as well,
wow.
just to deal with anything that's too crazy. Man,
Yeah,
that Swolfin is definitely swole. All right, Amalgadon finally goes down, but there is just not enough on the side of Agent to deal with this. Hoping just to clean up the board a little bit, I think, but this should speak his demise.
Yeah. All that power.
Yeah.
Oops, 17. And it looks like
Whoa! Got the tie for 3rd.
look at that.
Reverb in 5.
Oh my
Donde in
goodness.
4. And that would be Agent going out in 3rd place. Let's quickly, I'm going to run over to Myanodon.
Yeah.
Just to see how our lobby leader is faring since we left him in the beginning. There he is. Let's jump on in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so we'll just jump on.
All right, still sticking with this. So here's the comp, right? So the death rattle is give a friendly beast +4/+4, and this death rattle. The Rivendare then procs this again and just continuously ripping through the death rattle. So it's just constantly cycling this leapfrogger's death rattle. And the funniest thing was this was one of the first minions that my Ananon bought. So It is very interesting to see a comp that works based off of like the first minion that you purchase.
He was very emotionally attached to the minion.
Apparently,
Yep.
Leapfrogger was very busted, and now Gas Coiler is going to really, really try to make this. This is going to be an interesting one. My Anodon took this last time, but Reverb has or no, sorry, Reverb Rice Bowl has since had a lot of turns with a golden um, Bram.
Right.
No poison on the side, so I don't think it really needs it with some of these minions. All right, Hydra does not pop. My action is looking to do some work. He does have the Reborn of the Amalgadon, but that is
Wow.
not going to ooh.
Wow. So Rice Bowls is just taking care of anything that grows too big.
Yeah, his Murlocs are just simply too large. Rats be damned. It's just not going to be
What are we
enough.
looking
And
at? 23. I almost thought it was
yeah,
going to be lethal there, but
no, just yeah, the Amalgadon coming back, pushing an additional 6. But I mean,
yeah.
I do not see a way that my Anodon can effectively beat that unless he just tries to roll for spores and poisonous at this rate. The Murlocs are just too big.
It's Wolfen coming in for the big win.
All right. Well, Findsy, Crocalist, and the that is that's golden Rivendare. All right, you got to get rid of your Hydra. All right, gets the Golden Baron. Okay,
Here's the trick, I guess, eh?
and Zap is not really useful. Nadina, not so much. And Famished Fellbat into a board of non-demons is probably the worst 6 drops you could ask for. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 1 gold. And well, looks like the Crocalus is coming down. And with a hope and a prayer, my Anodon is hoping to scam something out with some poison, but with only technically 1 poison and my ex are reborning, I just don't think there's a way he can amount the statistical Murlocs that Rice Bowl has strung together.
Yeah, we get some thick Murlocs if you're going to see in 2 seconds here.
And they are some swole boys indeed.
Playing some Frogger with the minions, but they're going to unfortunately not.
Yeah, and my
Yeah.
Exna. My Exna does hit one of the massive minions, but
Wow, okay.
all right. Well, okay, so the fish has actually grabbed quite a few death rattles
It did.
here.
Yep.
If there's a chance that this fish survives, my Anodon has a extremely strong chance. These frogs are getting massive because just the constant Rivendare. Oh my goodness.
Oh, all right. So
That's wow. My Anodon finding the Golden Baron Rivendare absolutely changing this game. Look at these frogs,
wow,
man.
look at that. Big flexing rats, but he's not going to get lethal? Oh, yeah. Nope.
What is he? 6'6". It's an 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It is not lethal.
Ow.
Look at these fit. Look at these. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And all it took was one or two rats to survive, and he would have had lethal, but
And it's just about protecting the rat pack or the fish. If
yeah.
any of them die early on, or even if the Rivendare gets popped early,
Yeah.
he's in a world of trouble. So, I mean, if I'm Rice Bowl, I'm probably looking for. Oh my goodness, that's a golden rat pack. But you can do it. I'm looking for Zap to kill the Rivendare. Zap will straight up kill the Rivendare and just absolutely demolish my Anodon's chances.
And
So
unfortunately, did not find it with a bunch of rolls that were going through, so
yeah, just gonna bounce back the Amalgadon one more time and get a few more buffs onto it. Wind Fury at this rate. So, hopefully can actually, if he attacks first, get through. A bird has been added to my Anodon's board. So if he attacks first, it could be GG.
He does.
And he does.
Wow.
Oh no, the Rat Pack got proc. That's the worst one. And there's
Oh.
the Rivendare gone.
So
Oh, it's
rice
just
bowl.
too, yeah. RNG be damned. The Rivendare got hit right off the bat, and unfortunately, that leapfrogger was not able to continuously pass that buff along. And Rice Bowl is going to be your game one winner with my Anodon
Anodon in
taking
second.
number 2.
Congrats for the rice bowl for making the slight adjustments that they could and coming back and giving my Anodon the what for and how
Yeah, it was
to's.
really tight there
It was.
for a while.
I really like that interaction with the frogs. That's pretty cool. I'll have to look for that when
Yeah,
I'm.
Baron Frogs is not something I really have taken for a ride. I see Beast and it's Goldra and things like that, but yeah, that was an interesting one.
So it's a TIL moment. Today we learn, or today I learned.
Yeah, exactly.
So want to thank all the viewers that are out there taking their time and enjoying battlegrounds like we are. Coming up next after battlegrounds will be a hero series match between JR Juggerlaw from Tam Surf Slam versus Donde's Bolner Jams 2003.
Yes, who Donde is in our lobby right now for Hearth or for Battleground. So gonna take about a 5-minute stretch. The I guess it's not the what is it? It's the 7th inning stretch or the 5th. What is that? I don't watch baseball much. Saku, what
Neither
is
do
that?
I. So what are we trying to say here?
It's it's like halfway through a baseball game. They have the like whatever inning, the 5th inning, the
Seventh,
6th inning
seventh,
stretch,
seventh
7th
inning.
inning
Yep.
stretch. Well, there you go. Take your second first battleground break stretch. Yeah, that was English.
We got there, bro. We got there. It took a while, but we got there. Oh,
We did it indeed.
okay.
I mean, we saw pretty much everything. We really didn't see dragons. We didn't see demons
No,
either. It was very, very interesting lobby to have both dragons and demons and not see anybody pull dragons and demons. Um, Maybe they felt that everybody else would be going for them as there's a finite amount of resources. I don't know. It's very, very weird.
so we're just keeping an eyeball on Blue Lobby right now to make sure everybody's going to chime in. We got 7 out of 8 players. I'm not sure who's missing. We'll say Donde just because.
Dang it, Donde.
And actually, it is.
Ah.
Now he's chimed in, so we'll be starting shortly. So it was a quick turnaround. So everybody just wants to basically copy my Anodon with some leapfrog action. So
Oh, that definitely a little chatter about the golden baron, the golden frog. Frog is insane. So we'll see if anyone tries to run that back and repeat the Myanodon
yep,
second place flurry that we saw at the end there.
yep. So who are you going to spectate now?
I am just scrolling through my list, waiting for eyeballs to pop up, but
Two.
I think I will be jumping on Wash in the Wind.
Okay, I'm gonna check out Sharkbait. Ooh ha ha.
Ooh ha ha.
So eyeballs are aplenty, so we will switch over to Corden's view right now, and they are coming up. I know Sharkbait's looking at Reno Jackson, Gallowix, AFK, and Zarella.
Nice. So probably a Reno run back, I think, from Sharkbait. Watching the win, looking at Craig, George, Daryl, and Patches. I'm a Dancing Daryl fan. I think Daryl has been one of the best. He's been changed since his reincarnation. Instead of just dancing two hats, he dances three. So Daryl definitely one of the top performing heroes of the battlegrounds for certain. And we do have a new Jin. Let's see who the lucky ducky is. First off, your mom kid on Cthulhu. Sharkbait on that Reno Jackson. My Anadon on the new Jin. Wow. Don 8th winning the Nugent Powerball twice. Omo for Rice Bowl. Watching the Wind is on Dancing Daryl. Asian PWE on the Sindragosa. Reverb is on Mana Storm, aka The Brute. Millhouse Mana Storm. And Don Day is on Kurtrus Ash Fall. No Murlocs, no Demons, no Mechs.
Wow, that's interesting. So it's gonna be probably a focus of dragons, maybe beasts.
I could see a lot of people going dragons. Beasts are definitely going to be a high priority as well as elementals can kind of just be okay if you get off to a decent enough start. But it really all depends on where your cards or I guess where your tavern goers play. You don't want to force something if you don't have to. So it'll be a difficult way if you start trying to force a comp just based off of what you see in the tavern.
Just kind of lining up the players' heroes now.
No
Short second.
problem. Pretty basic first couple turns. It's something that hasn't changed very much. It's just the start to the turns is it's the constant buy, tavern up, buy sell type of mentality. Going to be a tie here for Washing the Wind versus your Mumked. Pretty standard stuff going forward. Does find Molten Rock as well as the free-loading Gambler and two of the Menagerie teacups. So we'll have to see. I do like just taking the 3/3 and using the 3 gold at some other point in time, but getting an early Molten Rock can snowball out of control per se. And there he is, the man of the hour, the Frog Leaper, and he locks it. Saku, he locks the frog.
He locks the frog.
He locked the frog coming into his opponent reverb, so he's gonna hold back on the free dealing gambler.
Wow, that's So locking the frog here does what? Just
Locking frog with a Surlisk is actually pretty impressive because the Surlisk is going to get buffed simply because the frog is a battle cry as well.
Okay.
This must not be his partner.
That's Reverb. So Reverb is his partner.
Yeah, so interesting why Wash held back the gambler, actually took 4 damage. I don't think he had to there, but maybe there was something that they were talking about down the line. But yeah, Surlisk and Leaper here is a pretty straightforward buy. Gets the correct pathing, and yeah, off to the races here.
With the frog.
It's gonna be an interesting thing because Daryl kind of doesn't work with the same composition that we saw last time with the Leapers.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl really wants to isolate one minion in the tavern and then sell a bunch of minions, buy it, and just give it an absolutely amazing buff. So you really like to see those on Hydras, Holy Mackerels, but we will not see that because we have no mechs. You won't see it on Deflectobots because there's no mechs. We won't see it on any big demons. I mean, the best hits for him at the moment are probably the Quillbores, Bonk, Bullizzy Razorback, the Wind Fury Elemental, and yeah, probably just the Hydra. So We'll have to see how Wash plays it. It might not even utilize the Daryl hero power to the full extent.
That's right. So we got shark bait going with the beast comp, a little bit of elemental flavoring. Probably just looking to get some goldens early.
Yeah, it's good for tokens. Just be able to
Yep.
sell a little bit later on.
Yep. We'll switch over to shark bait there after this next round.
Sounds fantastic. Wash probably just gonna tavern up and buy a minion here. I would assume the 2/2 pirate is always great, discounting your taverns and something to sell off a little bit later on that you're not too invested in. And here's kind of where I hate the additional 5 seconds. Wash's turn is done, and
Oh,
we had to sit here for 40 seconds.
So how's your day going, Gordon?
Right? It was not bad, worked. Try and recover from the hurricane rain/winds we
Oh,
had.
craziness that happened. Yep.
It was absolutely insane, but everyone's safe and sound. Just a little bit of power loss,
Yep.
just a flicker on my end, but not much else, man.
And
Pretty all right.
we hope our friends in New York are doing okay. And we saw
Yes,
some
yeah,
craziness down there with some flooding and
a lot of
flash
flooding, a lot
flooding.
of
So
damage. So
yep.
definitely hope everybody is okay in New York and nothing too serious. Stuff can be replaced, loved ones cannot. So hopefully everything went completely fine for everyone.
Yep.
All right. Well, the Terragosa is picked up for my Anodon, so my Anodon looks like he's on a way. Have the he does have the frog. Um,
Is that what
but
they probably had a meeting about? Was making sure you had the frog?
yeah,
That's
that's
funny.
definitely why Donde was the last one to. He wanted to tell my Anodon he has to win frog. Oh, Sewer Rat is a great pickup. Just to be able to add an additional beast to hit. It's going to
Yep.
buff the Surlisk as well as you can sell. Interested to see if he wants to utilize the hero power here. He does have a Sunbacon Relaxer, which is going to give him some soul gem or some blood gems. So
Yep.
I don't mind buying 2 minions, selling the 2/2, and then buying the additional minion, and then selling the 3 that you've bought. Um, and just landing as much as you can on this sewer rat.
So we're at tier 4 here at Sharkbait's camp. They just goldened up a couple of the tokens that we were talking about there last turn. So
Oh
they are.
yeah, found the ribbon there too, and
Yep.
golden or the light fang, and so yeah, Sharkbait is hoping to survive. And I mean, these are the big swing turns that
Yep.
someone like Sharkbait can take these opportunities to really have these swing turns because, I mean, she's not scared of being hit for a ton of damage. Actually, going to buy the Scallywag as well to get an additional buff off of this Light Fang. I love the
Nice.
play.
That was good call there.
Yeah, because she knows that one of these beasts and one of these elementals is the only things that are going to be getting hit. So I might as well increase my chances of getting a better minion. And I mean, it's worked out
It
to perfection for her.
exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just going to crank Asian PWE here for a spicy
15.
15. Good thing that cap is in place, right?
According to HSR, the max amount of damage that Sharkbait was supposed to do was 14. So
Yeah. Well, the
Sharkbait OP.
yeah, Shark, please nerf. HS is a little bit buggy recently in Battleground. You said a little
Yeah,
bit
you mentioned.
earlier.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, Sharkbait is just looking for good minions to allow Light Fang to buff up. Looking to add a dragon to the mix, probably add a better elemental than this elemental, definitely add a better beast. So looking for, oh, that's a great dragon to add. Bronze Warden is amazing. Looking for hydras, looking for, I mean, dragons are, ooh, that's a way better elemental too. That's a fantastic elemental.
Yeah.
She just hit a wicked turn.
Them bubbles with the Wind Fury is just gonna help.
Yeah. There's also the new minion that when a minion loses a divine shield, give it
Right.
+2/+1 permanently.
Right.
So could definitely find its way into this comp for at least 2 to 3 turns, especially because Sharkbait is kind of leaving that spot wide open right now.
hmm
She's on the sixth minion train at the moment. Freezing, I would assume, for the Enforcer at this point in time.
Okay. I was just gonna ask what the purpose of freezing would be for that turn, but
Yeah, the Enforcer is great because it's just going to get +2/+2 every time a Divine Shield is popped. And, well, she's technically got 3/4 if the Bristleback survives, which we see that he does.
yep.
Um, and I mean, she's just going to be steamrolling, really. This is kind of a do it yourself board at the moment. She's going to pop Wash in the
Holy
Wind for
10.
14.
14, yep.
Dang. Well, we're at the threshold where we could start losing some people.
Yeah.
There's the Enforcer, which I'm assuming why she froze the board.
Rice Bowl
This is her
is
partner, right?
nope, my Anadon. Oh, sorry, my Anadon is Donde's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is Rice Bowl. So Rice Bowl is her partner.
Yeah.
I mean, at this rate, she's trying to think, can I not do 4 damage? But unfortunately, if she just wins, she's gonna hit him for 5. So she takes the opportunity to tavern up, doesn't really make herself too much stronger, buys the salty looter or the gold grubber, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But depending on how we left Rice Bowl, could be. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong
Yeah, I was
screen.
just gonna say they're facing my Anadon right now.
I am, yeah.
Rice
Wow.
Bowl was coming from first to unfortunately worst right now at this point. But
Yeah. But hopefully can survive. I'm crazy. Coming into the Myanodon, who was the hot second place. So this is gonna be it's interesting she took the chance to tavern up here then. I guess she not making herself much stronger. I don't know why we did the salty looter personally. It's gonna get 4/4 in stats and possibly, an additional 4/4 from the light fang.
okay.
So it's an interesting one. Does get it. We'll have to see my Anodon's board.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
this
mean,
this is gonna
she
be
is very favored here.
yeah.
Um, Don't even need HS replay to tell me how favored she quite is.
I'll tell you, it's 0.01 chance to tie.
Yeah, and it needed to be a. I don't see a
Yeah,
tie
but
ever
that's all,
happening
folks.
there.
Yep.
But that's all,
Holy, look at
folks.
the damage coming out of there now.
And so this is key.
Yeah.
That's 15 cat.
Oh.
Even though we did lose Rice Bowl,
Yeah.
my Anodon just under the
Saved.
skin of his teeth gets saved from
Saved.
that new 15 damage cap. So
Uh,
this is a big thing, is that could have been catastrophic for my Anodon. He now basically gets a second life.
I'm wondering how much damage that was.
I'd have to go back and look, but
Yeah.
she had her Light Fang was still awake.
It's at least 20.
Her Quillbore was open. Her patches, like there was at least 20 to 25 damage
Yeah.
that she could have dealt in that turn.
That's
so
pretty amazing. It's a pretty big thing, especially when you are you're trying to get to the top since your teammate basically took the fall there. So next round we're going to be going over to Corden after one more view of Sharkbait here. So who are you currently viewing?
Madonde.
Donde. So what's Donde got going on?
He's got a beast build, but no leapers. No frog leapers.
He's leaperless.
He is leaperless. So we'll be coming over to that, and but Sharkbait found herself a pair, and hopefully looking to power up and find some 6 drops with these bronze wardens and cyclones. If you can find the triples. So yeah, here's Cthulhu. Your mom kid is doing the Dragon Cthulhu build, which is absolutely insane for each tick of that hero power that lands on a dragon.
Yep.
With these double whelps, they get +2 health. So, I mean, definitely not going to be knocked out here, and might give Sharkbait a run for her money come down to the end of it because I mean, not getting hit for a ton here. And I mean, Sharkbait got off to a great start, so that doesn't really showcase your mum kid's power. He's definitely not going to get knocked out for a very long time, but
Right.
we did lose Wash in the Wind.
All right. So that drops the one for who was it? The Phantom Force. So one player from Phantom Force, one player from the other one.
Rice
Here's
Bowl
a
from
Friends
first
of
to
Bob. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
yes, yeah. Friends of Bob watching the win getting knocked out. And Rice Bowl from first to eighth.
Yep.
It's, as middle of the pack as it could be for Rice Bowl's tenureship there, but we are coming into Donde, who is the one who sent Rice Bowl out. So he has completed all the portions of the Kurtrus hero power, which is you buy 5 minions. It's tiered up similar to Curiel Rome. It's very actually, you know what? It's the Demon Hunter quest line, but instead of drawing cards, you're buying minions. And instead of discounting those minions, you're giving them +1/+1 or +2/+2. So Dundays essentially utilizes hero power to its full velation. And now he is looking at a triple on a scavenging hyena. Does he want to throw away some of these cards? He does. He doesn't have a lot of time. Time's ticking down. He's going to have to get these played out. Is he going to find the triple? He's going to find the golden. He's got a Mayax that doesn't get it out. He's going to get that.
No,
He does.
APM is good for Donde. Okay.
Boomer. But Sharkbait, we just left, is found the triple, but actually loses her Cyclone into the Myexna Poisonous. But this Quillbor should do a good job at cleaning up a little bit more. Myexna, oh, wow, what an absolute monster hit. She is going to push a ton of damage. That should knock Donde out. It doesn't. Just shy. Well, in Donde's point of view, he has made top 4.
Yep.
He is now coming into your mum kid. We did lose Reverb and Myanodon that time around.
We did. Yep.
We do have our top 4.
So Reverb, unfortunately, in Wash in the Wind for Phantom Force. Not getting big points for their team, but any points at this point in time is good points.
Yeah, and Donde is still holding on for Dawn 8, so I'm sure Myanodon is trying to talk him through a few things to edge him into a top 3, top 2. But sitting on 4 health, it's really not a whole lot to play with.
No.
The best thing you can hope for Donde is he, gives Cthulhu as good as he gets, but with where we left, Cthulhu is going dragons with the double whelp seller. It's looking to be a very difficult time for Donde. There is a poison in the shop. I'm curious to see if he goes for it somehow.
I'm spectating Agent PWE right now is at 15 health and is trying to build an elemental package. So
going up against
Sharkbait.
Sharkbait, so does have some big minions, Agent. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. But here's your Mum Kid versus Donde with a massive Chroma Wing.
Wow.
And yeah, this oh no, that's
that
okay.
Like it hurts.
I thought that was the all right. So the Leaper is popping off a little bit more now. Oh, my accident does not hit well. Goes into the Divine Shield.
That pretty much will close out.
Donde, unfortunately, just couldn't find what he would have liked to. Is going to be sent out. I would assume with the tie for third, fourth.
Yeah, Agent
Yeah,
ended up.
Agent got popped.
So we're gonna go back to shark bait, and
Yes, might as well switch to your screen there for shark bait. As who is she against?
I think it's okay.
Your
So
mom kid,
it's Meet
right?
Your Mom Kid. Yep. So
Yeah, she's tripled the bristleback knight
yep.
and given the Myexna the poison. Very nice. There's the Hydra. Very little, very late. The freeze is good. I think the freeze is just for the selfless hero at this point in
Yep.
time. We'll have
Yeah.
to
Another
see what
golden
she get.
Caligos, maybe. No dragons, so it's not really much use.
Honestly, it might be Master Realities just as a taunt minion.
Okay. Yeah. No, picked Caligos. So
Goose is fine. I mean, at this rate, Goose is probably just a gold. I suppose she doesn't really need to sell anything for Master Realities. I don't see none of those really fit into her build here. The only thing she might have taken and sold off and played is an Amalgadon, but is looking to come into a very big board. I mean, there's some strong dragons on the side of your Mumket, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Does take out the bristleback, and then this is going to be a big guardian. Oh man, just absolutely smashing. I think that pretty much spells the disaster for your Mumked. It's going to be more than
oh,
enough to
yep.
end the game, and Sharkbait
Shark
is
bait
your
coming
winner of
in.
game number 2. What a great play and a great utilization
Yep.
of her hero power, finding the extremely uh, great Light Fang, and not only finding the Light Fang, finding extremely good and strong minions in order to really utilize the hero power from it. So, really wicked job there by Sharkbait.
Yeah, just congratulating them on a good, well played game. So
Very well played indeed. Some much needed points for Team Phantom Force.
yeah.
Race Bowl and Sharkbait actually getting a first in both of their lobbies. So wicked, really good points for them. Going to hopefully be able to close the gap on some of those teams at the top.
Yeah, I forgot to write down the sequence of who passed away first. So Rice Bowl, I know, was number one, like eighth place. I remember Washington Wind was down there. Who else? Yeah,
Down towards the bottom,
I think it was not in
uh,
specific order, but
I think Wash was down there. I believe Reverb was at a tie. Myanodon went out earlier. I think he was a fifth or a sixth. I think Reverb was the sixth. Myanodon was the fifth, but they went out together.
yeah.
I know Agent got hit pretty early, but I think Rice Bowl was the eighth
Yeah.
in that one.
So Reverb
Um,
was six, tied for five. I'm just looking at the stats
right.
online.
Oh, have they updated? Awesome. Yeah.
Not all of them, but Rice Bowl we knew was first. So we got Rice Bowl and Sharkbait. So they're same team. So Sharkbait with one, your mom kid with two, Agent PWE three, Donde at four, and down with five with a tie. Actually, there's quite a few ties. So Donde with a tie, Agent with a tie. And we were talking about ties tonight, weren't we?
Yeah, it's supposed to not happen that way, but I mean, it sometimes it be like that.
Yeah. Especially tonight, if you looked at the first lobby, that was
Yeah, I
that was
mean, when there's there's a thing that there's won't be ties for like eights and sevens,
yeah.
but 4, 5, and 6, when that first person goes out and the bubble is popped, that's when people start dying, and that's where you see a majority of your ties.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
very crazy indeed.
so we won't get into the standings yet because it takes math and my brain is not working too well. So We're going to jump right over to our second match of the evening, which is Donde versus JR Juggernaut. So,
Yes, Dande, we just saw in the BGs there, is going to be making his transition to Hero and has been having an insane year in Hero so far.
yes.
Um, have you seen his statistics so far, Saku?
From what I gather from last week, he was undefeated walking into week 3, and now he's
And
won week
is
3.
still undefeated.
So he's
He
is
is,
9-0 in
yeah,
games.
he is 9-0 on Warlock. Let's be specific, I believe. I'm almost certain. I know he is 6-0 on Warlock because he swept me on the first week.
Okay.
And then I watched him on stream, I believe it was last week. So I'm not too sure about week 2, but I do believe it was Warlock, and I know for a fact he swept, but I'm not sure if it was the Warlock, but I'm pretty sure he is 9-0 on the Warlock. So if JR has a thought process, he will be banning Dante's Warlock.
That sounds like a good plan. So, trying to get the cams matched up here so we get to see JR, who's our uh, occasional Tavern Talk host, along with Don Day, who's our uh, representative of Friday Night Fights every once in a while, and OG host for the Hearthstone Hearth Center. So, originator for that. So, all right. So I'm going to
Yeah,
see
it's a battle of the battle of the commute. I guess
Casters.
big community members.
Yes.
Yeah, the casters, the well-known community members, and JR and Donde. It is hero, so it's unlike or pro we saw earlier. We don't know deck lists. It's also a last hero standing format. So if you win with the deck,
Yep.
you stay on it. The losing deck is gone for the opponent, and they must move on to the next one. Donde had brought Paladin, Priest, Shaman, Warlock. JR has brought Mage, Paladin, Shaman, Warlock.
So only differences are
Priest and Mage,
yep.
which Priest typically will find the advantage in that matchup. Uh, you know, JR, from what he has brought, it does worry me that he's not going to ban Dande's Warlock because he has brought Mage, which does very well into Warlock. He
Yeah.
has brought Paladin, which isn't it's okay into Warlock. It's one of the reasons that you can beat it. So maybe just looking to 100% guarantee that Dande's Warlock cannot sweep him, but he does have the Shaman as well,
Yeah.
which Warlock is the reason that Shaman isn't as oppressive as it
It
typically
keeps it
is.
in check. So yeah, the hand
Yeah.
lock is as I'm hearing on GMs seems to be the counter. I wouldn't say immediate counter, just depending on text and such, but it's definitely to keep Shaman reeled in. So
Yes. No. Exactly. It keeps it honest.
yeah. So we're still having some connection issues where the client, either player, can't see each other right now. So they're just figuring that out. So they haven't done the challenges. So we don't know bans yet. So we are waiting for the players to get situated. While we do that, we can roll through what their team is doing right now. So Tampam's Surf Slam is currently up 4-2 with Anfall falling to Osmonaut 3-2. So
Actually, if you refresh, you will see a spicy Ron Mexico sporting a nice 4-0
look at
over
that over because
Asgard
Kazgar.
taken down.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was the other match that we were trying to get, but unfortunately, they needed to play at 8:30 due to I think Ron's work. He was able to get home and at 8:30, sorry, 7:30 Eastern. So, or was it 8:30 Eastern? Anyway, doesn't matter. Couldn't get it on stream, but that was the one that was supposed to be at 8 o'clock that we were trying to view. So, all right, so we got bands finally. So,
Bands.
what do you predict as bands again? Just to
I
rehash.
He's got to ban Dante's Warlock. I don't think he is, but I really hope he does. But if I'm really looking at the lineup he's brought, he's probably going to ban Dante's Priest, and from Dante, he's probably going to ban JR's Warlock.
Okay, so Dante's Paladin is gone,
What? Okay.
and Dante no shaman. Uh,
So JR's Shaman is
JR's.
gone.
Yes, so it's down to the Dante's priest, shaman, warlock versus mage, paladin, and warlock.
That's weird. I understand it from Dante's point of view, banning the Shaman because Shaman does very well into the aggro priest. Um, it also can do okay into the Paladin, depending if it's the hand buff versus the secret. I think they're both okay into Shaman, though. But ultimately, Shaman could just kind of steamroll. And Paladin is brought to deal with Warlock. Priest can over the top Warlock. So
Yep.
we'll have to see how the match does go.
Yep. So for our viewers out there, JR Juggalo is going to be the bottom of your screen or first to spectate for the casters, and Dante's going to be at the top of the screen.
Perfection.
Good luck. Have fun. All that good stuff. So let's watch for some eyeballs. And I see a few million eyeballs.
Not the
Yes.
ones we need.
That's right. JR's got to.
You got to think here because Hero's a lot about queuing, right? It's you can't just put something up. You always have to make sure you have an answer for one of your opponent's decks. So
Yep.
it's going to be what do you assume your opponent is going to lead out with, and what do you think you can hit them with?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a mind game.
It's. I was trying to listen to TJ and Lorinda today, just talking about queue order for Conquest versus LHS, right? So it was an interesting discussion. So
Yeah, it's like LHS should kind of just you need to have answers, whereas Legacy or Conquest, you just kind of want to lead out with your best option
yeah,
against their lineup. Like, so if you have a Warlock left up, you probably will play it. If you have a Shaman left open, unless you see like an extreme aggro lineup on the other side, you'll probably just bring that Shaman. That's
Yep.
kind of how it works. So, um,
Here
we
we
will
go.
see what these gentlemen have decided to play and bring.
So Dante's snapped out the I'm gonna call it machine gun priest just because I feel like it, and we got quest mage for JR.
All right. Well, statistically, Dande does have the advantage in this matchup, but Mage is very good at being scammy. Am I missing a card here? What's the
uh,
second card in JR? Oh, there we go. Just a little bit of a weird
bug.
spectator bug
Yeah,
there as Mulligan kind of.
went funny. Yeah, same for me. The coin just surfaced itself like out of midair. So anyway, so we got Dante with tour guides. Always start out with the freshman and homunculus, and then the attendant. So JR with the obvious quest.
Yep. Quest on one. It's good that Dande has a turn one play there. He also has the Void Touch Attendant into the tour guides. They're
Yeah.
going to be able to push a lot of damage here.
Four
JR
damage?
did
Yeah.
keep the fire sale. Yep, going to be 5 actually because
Yes.
of the additional one
That's right.
from the schoolyard guy. JR smartly kept the fire sale, so it's going to be able to coin that next turn.
Oh, this explode!
Or this.
Nice getting the attendant burned off.
Yep.
So Dante now has a choice actually. That is a spell damage minion left up, and he more than likely has to respect it.
Yep.
So
I could see
but it's
horror.
awkward to respect it.
Yeah. I was gonna say you can either hero power it and bump your tour guide into it, or wriggling horror homunculus, then figure out what to do after that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the way the homunculus ping, like it is an awkward turn because you could just do the wriggling with the imprisoned and just forget about the 1/3. You could double trade, which
True.
is pretty much the same. But it looks like Donde is just going to completely ignore and
Might
is
be.
actually going to get extremely punished by
I
this
was just
fire
gonna say.
sale
Coin
if
fire sale.
JR chooses to go with that.
Nope.
But he has a lot to do in his hand at the moment.
Ooh, do you take mask right now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of damage. Second flame is going to be able to kill off this student and then right into the wriggling. Now, this is where this is supposed to be priest favored, but if mage just has
Answers.
things to
Yep.
do and answers,
Yep.
it is extremely hard for the priest to fight back. And now we did see, or I'm not sure if you caught there, Donde did have um, a voracious reader in his opening
He
hand,
did.
which usually leans towards the gambling style of this deck, which runs the
0 mana.
4 mana 3/6 and with the 0 mana cards. Exactly.
Yep.
So maybe he just has voracious reader in the deck, but he also could possibly just be playing that style.
So I was gonna say, does he bother trading this in, or just basically gets rid of that? I can't think of the card. Lab partner.
The lab part, he's the more awkward that these minions are to kill, the harder it's going to be for JR to complete quests as well as staying alive.
Yeah.
So he's really probably going to elect to try and just control as much as he can while completing his quest because I mean he's still looking for the frost spell and he's still on part 1. He's got 19 health remaining.
Yeah.
Donde has a homunculus popping and there's a second void touched attendant. I mean
we touched on this just in the green room per se, but just how sometimes mage where you end up having all your fire spells but never ever see a frost, or like arcane seems to come up a lot more frequently than frost does, and I think that's where frost you need minions sometimes depending on what you do. Like in this case here, JR can't find a frost to even get up to second part. Now at this point, does he really care in the match?
yeah, I mean I don't think he does. I mean, I think Donich needs to go. This is a good play. He misses the 3 damage from the hero power, but pushing, making a 5/8/6.
Yeah.
Arcane Intellect's not the frost spell. He's probably going to have to draw here.
He's
but
gonna have to take care of that 5/6.
Oh, bang! Yeah, and like I mean, that's just
I think
2, 3, 8.
Oh, there's
9, 10, 11. There's 11 on board right now for Donde. Wow. Cone of Cold is a card that I know it's been played every now and then in this deck, but it's not something that is typically just a very interesting inclusion. It almost it doesn't guarantee you being able to play it because not a lot of decks play minions, but here it's going to be paying dividends for JR. He's going to finally complete the quest, draw a spell, but unless he deals with this, and there's been no
fire's good, but it's too late.
Got
right
the
now.
other ice, got the other frost. There's a wriggling. So it's 6 damage right now. So unfortunately for JR,
there's no he's thinking ice barrier is going to save him, but
this is the thing about Shadow Priest, just a ping over the top. I mean, he can fire sale. It doesn't even clear the board. And hoping to draw. I mean, he could try and draw for a the frost.
Yep. He sees it.
All right. And the priest does take the favorable win into the mage. Donde was able to find the void touch in time, and really overwhelm the mage and not allow it to complete its quest at a hand in time.
Yep. So that leaves JR's mage off the table. Can't use it again due to LHS rules. So Donde has to also keep playing with priest until it dies.
Yeah, and so JR does typically have the advantage in this sense that he knows Donde is playing the priest and he knows what it is.
Yeah.
I'd expect to see like maybe Paladin come out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's the Warlock. Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Um,
This is my moment.
could still be fine. I don't know. Like, I think it's just kind of like a 50-50 draw your who can draw their stuff more.
Yeah.
Unlike the mage, there's a lot of healing in Warlock.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to see who hits their stuff first. Donde has a pretty nice curve again with the frizzled freshman on one.
Mm-hmm.
JR is going second, which you don't always like to see as the Warlock, as you give your opponent the opportunity to play the minion right off the bat.
Donde's still trying to think of which
Yeah.
cards to keep and just make sure.
I like the freshman and I like the 2-mana keep because the freshman is always dealing damage. Dark Bishop is okay to get in your mulligan because it's not a card you're going to draw now.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice 5-mana drop. Ooh, that's not really a card you want to see right now. You kept one in your opening hand.
A little bit of a shaking of the head of Donde there just a second ago. So just not liking that 5-mana card flipping into his hand, but
yeah, no, it's not the absolute best, but here going to come down the Twilight Deceptor, most likely going to get us a Raised Dead. Now, I think Raised Dead is the only shadow spell played in the priest. If it's the Gandling, there is also a chance that there is the Life Shard, the deal 4 mana, but I think it is just Raised Deads. Alrighty, so wriggling is interesting.
Could have. Wonder if he would have done damage and the Deceptor would have came out, but wonder if that would have been another option. But I think it's better to get fat minions. So, but Soul Rend comes out and takes care of business.
Yeah.
Ooh,
All
Acolyte
right,
and
Viper,
Scavenger
we're
gone.
happy. Neophyte, we're happy. And Scavenger, well, we're not great, but we have the other Scavenger in hand, so it's not the worst case. So that is the imp. So that is 100% confirmation of the gambling version.
Right. Okay.
So, they can play ping. Raised Dead is going to be very good. JR is going to be very upset to see that. First Deceptor comes down. Second Raised Dead, I'm assuming, which is probably the last shadow spell in the deck for Donde. Unless he is running those life steals, which I don't think is typical in this list, but you never know.
Yeah, I've never run the Gandling one myself, but we'll see what this next spell comes out. If it comes out with the shard, then we
he might be just trying to
tempo.
He might also be trying to just save these cheaper spells, so like the Frizzle Freshman for the Gandling turn, so that is it. No more shadow spells, at least in the deck, and JR's on 2 of 6 here. He's gonna have to react to this board and still not really progress his quest as much as he would like, but a backfire will definitely get him in the right direction.
Yep.
This is gonna complete part 1.
Part 1 of 3. So Donde.
Probably is just going to flood the board at this rate.
Yep.
Wants to get as much of this out of his hand as possible soon, because the Voracious, the longer this game goes on, the worse it's going to get.
That's right.
You've seen a singular Soul Rend. You could expect a second one. And the way JR has been playing doesn't really tell you much of what's in his hand.
So we got Freshman. You could see Tour Guide coming out. Maybe a Wriggling.
Yeah, I think at this rate, Donde just needs to say, I gotta push.
Yeah.
I really gotta go.
Yeah.
And if you have the second Soul Red, then you have the second Soul Red. There's
Yep.
not much else I can do.
And there's a touch of Nathrazim.
Touch of the Nathrazim. No Tamsin in sight, so not a lot of clear. So the Drain Soul and Touch, as good as it is into this board, it would have been amazingly good if Tamsin was around, but we're gonna backfire. Wow.
Okay.
JR is playing and a ooze. He has an ooze and a viper in this deck. That is an extremely high-tech warlock deck. Maybe I'm not too sure what the ooze and the was expecting.
Yeah, maybe Shaman for like versus Donde Shaman, leaving that
It
up.
very well could have been.
So we'll see if that comes down to a Warlock Shaman matchup. So
Yeah. So no Void Touch attendant drawn yet. I kind of like trading away this Breaker here and trying to find the Void Touch or even finding Gandling at this rate.
yeah, because you're looking to go crazy right now. So I would think, yeah, trade that in, see what you get, and then make a decision what you're going to do with the 8/6 because you still haven't seen any raised deads there from JR either. So it's
In first, use the tour guide. I think he's going in here. We're gonna see this trader get played.
No time.
It's just gonna be a massive minion. And yeah, Dante saying, "What do you got? You either clear me or you're dead."
And I think
Touch is not gonna do it.
nope.
I don't believe so.
Touch is going to
Mortal
get them.
Coil.
Coil gets rid of Imp, and it draws Soul
Gotta be
Rends, and
Tamsin.
it doesn't. So
That's not activated. It will not be unless we tap.
do you think JR should have tapped there, maybe? Or is he just looking to get as much health total back?
I kind of like the tap. The Giants also set up a reverse here because Donde now has to respect these Giants because, I mean, if a Battle Master comes out, it's not the worst because he can only be hit for 16. But I mean, Donde has to kill him now. There's 11 cards in JR's deck, so that means Bristlebacks and Scavengers become active next turn.
Yep.
JR might have turned the corner on this one. Depending on what Donde's next few draws are, which I'm expecting he's just going to slam Voracious in the Frizzle Freshman here to get as much out of hand as he possibly can.
There is no light, only power.
Gonna go for the Benedictus. Gonna try and milk the draw off of the Voracious Reader as much as possible. He's gonna set him to 9, but JR has a extremely good swing turn back here. Heals 12 and plays a 6/6 taunt is going to all but lock this game out.
Yep. Donde with the shake of the head right now, so knowing it's going to be hard to come back with some thick 8/8s and a 6/6 and
Flesh Giant going to come down as well, and that imp is just going to make Donde find the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, I'd imagine.
Yep.
All right, well, JR
with a big sigh of relief there. He wasn't sure what to expect. So
yeah, I mean, Warlock is extremely strong. Those are the swing turns you look for. Donde was looking good, but I mean, Priest just kind of runs out of gas sometimes, and JR found the Soul Rend, found the good clears without the Tamsin even.
Yep.
And able to put a blemish on Donde's.
That's what I was just about to say. Broke his egg.
Yeah.
Broke his egg.
So maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And, can JR pile on and keep that momentum flying forward? So Donde's Priest is gone. JR knows, or JR has to play the Warlock. Donde's gotta be bringing the Warlock out here, or I can't imagine the Shaman unless it's the Doomhammer Shaman, which still doesn't do amazingly into the Warlock because there are taunts and so much healing. It's probably gonna be a Warlock mirror, and it does make sense for
Nope. Somebody disconnected.
believe we lost Donde, or just a spectator
No,
issue there.
Donde's hanging out in menus, so somebody hiccuped. JR.
That is
JR.
okay. Hopefully we can. Oh yeah, JR did hiccup on out of BattleNet real fast, but
Yep.
I do respect JR's Warlock ban in this or Paladin ban in this case. Now, um, it makes his Warlock the one that has to be beat,
Yep.
and with still having the Paladin left up for JR, he's pretty much got the advantage going into Donde's Warlock and even the Shaman. I really don't mind Paladin into Shaman. I think people underestimate how impactful Divine Shield minions can be
Right.
versus a Shaman.
I mean, even well, as if anybody watched last week's match with Alien Santa, adding a few texts there with regards to the merchants. They're forget what they're called. The ones that give Og
The
merchants.
Divine Shield,
Yes. So
the
it makes
the
them,
Og Merchant.
yeah,
Oh, not the Og Merchant.
yeah, it's Og merchant. So
Oh
it makes
yeah,
them super annoying to try and get off because you got to burst the bubble first in order to clear the board. So it's a very interesting tech that I've seen some players do, including Alien
yeah.
Santa. So
Even slamming robes, which was
right,
the
yes,
kind of teched meme card of the early meta,
right,
but
yep,
for mage. But if Warlock can't heal, Warlock can't win because the amount of self damage it has to do without the healing cards of Drain Soul and Touch of the Nathrezim doing a big healing turns,
yep,
there's really not a lot that they can do if you just robe and sit back and relax.
yeah.
So
So JR had to restart the client and didn't work the first time, so we couldn't challenge Dawn Day. But I think they got things rocking and rolling here. It's just going to take a few minutes.
yeah, it says Donde is in battle with somebody, but I don't actually see JR online myself.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna scroll down to see if he's available. There he is. Okay.
I am going to. Oh, there he is. Perfect. We are jumping on into JR.
Yeah.
Let's brawl.
So we are doing Shaman, Donde Shaman versus the Warlock.
Donde knows. Yeah, all right. It's Doomhammer.
But he doesn't know that JR's carrying an ooze. So
He did not see the ooze. You are correct, but he did see the viper. If he does remember that. Because it was burned in the mulligan phase, but he does not say that. That is very true. He could hit him with a spicy one too.
yep.
So JR actually keeping the cult neophyte and the double soul rend, assuming to see more of a aggressive elemental start, but he is not going to get his choice. But yes, sir, and fair.
A free turn to throw his quest without taking any damage.
Yeah. So down comes Cage Match Custodian. This is probably going to. I mean, it doesn't always tell JR what the deck is,
Right.
but it's a very good chance. And Rot. Oh, the Viper.
Wow.
The Viper. JR is ecstatic, I believe, if he sees this Viper and sees the Doomhammer come down. Wow. Turn 3 pass. I mean, JR, he's got to have the read at this point in time. Antheron, that's a backfire that's going to draw him up to 7 or to 10 cards. So he would have to throw the coin if he didn't want to burn here. He can actually throw the coin and use this touch or the coil if he so chooses. I do like the coil because it allows the Antheron to be played next turn,
Right.
As alongside of the Viper. So very, very good there by JR.
Heads up play. Yep.
Yeah, Donde's not going to be able to play this. He's probably going to see the Granite come out here.
Discounting his elementals in his hand, whatever's there.
Gonna try and lock out as much as They can possibly throw at the board. And here comes the Doomhammer. I can only imagine. And JR is probably going to snap play that Viper.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Donde senses that he's got something, but it's caster vision is awesome.
There's also the option that Donde plays out these elementals to deal with
keep
this
the
board
chain.
because that is an Antherodon and a Canal Slogger. This is perfectly 5 mana. It really allows you to keep the board as well as push 4 damage. There is the Soul Rend in hand for JR, which there's the Swamp Ooze, man. I'm ripping this Soul Rend and not looking back.
Yep. Forget about it. Oh, there's Wind Fury, another rotted.
Okay, there's a second Viper.
Wow.
So Donde just saw one Viper.
So
there's no chance he doesn't rip this Doomhammer.
Yeah. And
he goes for the Inara.
You're right. There is no chance.
So this is the play then. Donde has seen the Viper. I do like this play by Donde. Do you see what he has in his hand right now?
Yeah, he's got Doomhammer, and then you got the Rockbiter weapon plus the 2 for the Wind Fury. So he's going to go crazy.
Turn 9.
Yep.
Turn 9, Donde's going to go for 6, 7, 8. He's basically going to hit for 16 in one turn.
Yeah.
It was a lot of healing that used from JR there. Very close, just, a draw and a tap away from activating these scavengers and these bristlebacks again, but I don't expect Donde to be playing too much. I think he's going to pull the trigger. That's fine. Getting the 10 here is fine. I think it's okay. There still is a second Doomhammer that we can equip to do an additional 10 for. This does make JR's turn pretty standard, though. Tap's going to activate, and then Viper and double taunt is just brutal.
Yeah. Donde's reaction was just, come on. So.
He's the second Doomhammer.
Does he play it?
No, I think he has to deal with this board. He did just see one Battlemaster taken out, but actually positioning by JR tells me there's no second Battlemaster in this deck because this positioning is pretty abysmal for second Battlemaster.
True. Very true.
You miss literally 24 damage. Like, this would be lethal any other way. I do like the Fireheart here, hoping for a revolve. A Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave is good.
It can be played next turn, but it doesn't clear the board. Chain Lightning is going to be able to deal 3 and is replayable. Hoping for...
I was just going to say, do you, like, knowing... you saw one Viper burnt. Now, knowing he's still got possibly a Raised Dead in his hand, do you really take the chance of milling? Like, putting that back into the pool, mana pool? He didn't kill much.
Probably takes it evolving, and I mean, he also thinks that if I can kill more of these, then there's the chance. So it does not hit the Viper.
Gandling.
There's a Gandling.
That's bad for JR in a sense.
Bad for JR. That's good for JR. Oh man, yeah, these are going to make Raised Deads. It's good and it's bad.
So you gain some stats by 1.
So what I want to see here, I'd love to see the Shard. Oh, he goes for the second Raised Dead. I would have loved to see the Bristleback on the Viper and then Raised Dead to attempt to get yourself a second Viper, just to make sure that Donde can't actually play anything else. Because, Donde's a turn away from hitting him with a Storm Strike, Rockbiter, second one. There is the Elemental Chain is busted.
Big sigh.
I mean, JR is playing to his extreme outs, making his Raised Dead pulls a little bit more awkward, but at the same time, he's pushing a lethal here on Donde.
It's got 15 on board.
15. Storm Strike is going to be enough if Donde could have played that all this turn, but it's not. Devolving missiles. How much are these? These are 4/4s, so
4/4s,
at
yeah.
4 mana. So I mean, this could still be lethal with this devolving missile. It's almost Donde has the diligent devolving, but using the diligent loses you so much. But I think it's the play he's gonna have to make.
Oh, well, get rid of the taunt, but
Yeah,
hoping for the
hopefully
gambling hit.
does it.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh, that's bad.
it's bad, but it's not unmanageable. But JR is going to be able to push out of range here pretty substantially, especially with the
Oh.
Spice Bread Baker. Flesh Giant
And-
comes down for free.
Rush. Yeah, you're gonna probably see.
The only thing I can think is if he doesn't play this Bristleback Brute. Okay, he does play the break,
Giant.
the Baker. Yeah. All but done for Donde and his Doomhammer Shaman. I mean, little miscue there with playing
The knoll first and then the bread. Yeah.
Donde. This turn would be able to push 16 to face. And that is unfortunately not enough. And really, with the board that JR has accumulated, unless this elemental is an absolute clear your opponent's board, it is not. That is a disaster.
So Donde's just kind of looking over right now and seeing what to do. But yep, makes a decent choice to say, you know what, I'm gonna hit you back with the Warlock, bro.
Yeah,
So-
it's gonna be a mirror. JR has played very well on this Warlock. I do that. It just makes the Paladin ban make so much more sense. I'm enjoying this. Although this is going to be the ultimate stress test, right? Warlock v Warlock, who can do it faster? JR has, I think, the disadvantage in this matchup because he has he has an Ooze and 2 Vipers. That's 3 cards that he has in his deck.
Yep.
But Donde has something else in there, and I think that might be really the difference maker. Donde throws the Anathera away, Soul Rend into the hand for JR. And there's the Swamp Ooze, which is probably just not gonna be played because you want to tap.
Yep. So is that a normal keep from Warlock? Is the Anathrazan or whatever?
I love keeping it, especially on Donde, who has coin.
Yeah.
It has as an additional card, and on turn 2, you're just going to be tapping anyway.
Yep.
You can get up to 10 cards very quickly and then just slam that. The opponent's Warlock has to deal with it, and if they don't deal with it, you just get to push 8. And if they do deal with it, more likely than not, you can raise that and play it again.
Right.
So I like to keep. I think Donde might realize that this is a race to the quest.
Yes.
And really, I mean, JR has a lot of explicit text in this deck with even Cult Neophyte. So I'd be interested to see what isn't in the deck because he still plays double Soul Rend as well.
Yeah. So does Ooze come out to play now? So Donde gets to see that. So
yeah, I think it's fine at this point in time.
Yeah. I just saw Donde's reaction. It was like, huh?
Yeah,
shaking
right?
his head
He
like, oh my
finally-
god. Okay, so there's another weapon removal that I would have had to worry about that I didn't know about. But anyway,
Wanted to absolutely make sure that there was no weapon shenanigans coming out from Donde was JR, but Noel here is going to be nice enough to trade through.
Yep.
I'd be interested to see if he coins this tour guide to tap next turn. And yeah, he does.
Yep. Good call.
That's good. Yeah, it's going to allow him to just. JR is still on. Ooh, Tamsin is nice, but it's awkward. It's for a later turn. So Donde I like is he's using his resources more aggressively in this matchup.
Yep.
And he's going to be able to tap and actually play a flesh giant next turn.
Okay.
How much does he have done on this quest? He's 2, so that would only be 3, 3 and 5. So he could complete this part 2. It would discount the giant by 3. So he could still play this giant here as well. Yeah, I really like this by Donde. He's going to be able to get this flesh giant out and complete part number 2 of the quest. Because the lifesteal is going to come through, and bam, down comes giant. First giant of the game is probably the one that's going to win it.
Yeah, we'll see if Donde takes the Battlemaster into his deck list as well.
Yeah, I think most people run the 1 just on
Yes.
turns like this if it
Yep.
doesn't get answered, but this is going to be a Drain Soul Red turn, and it's good that he deals with it, but it's bad because, well, there goes his Sprice and there goes the Blast.
Ooh.
So Donde is light years ahead in this quest, and
Yeah.
just really has a lot of stuff that he can just play. I mean, is able to tap, play the other Knoll if he so does choose, or Backfire, which I definitely would love to see him play.
And he did, and another one comes up.
Comes to 10 cards, so
Ooh.
probably just fires the Knoll here, to be completely fair. You don't really require in this matchup.
Right. Plus, it's already got a Knoll in there, so it's the Goldshire Knoll is really good anyway for
Yeah.
rush purposes. And
Yeah. I know he's probably thinking, do I need the Knoll? Like, is there a way that I need to keep it? But really, he's able to complete quests next turn with just the Raised Dead. So he's got to play cards out of his hand.
yeah,
JR is on
JR's
his way to doing it as well.
but he's a turn behind.
Whoa.
Okay.
Just slams the Flesh Giant. So, I mean, Donde, if he's probably going to complete quest here.
So,
Can do it with Raised Dead. So, I mean, what do you see in this turn? There's a lot to do for Donde.
that's what I was just thinking. Is just Drain Soul is one option. You got to take the 88 off the board, obviously first. So I mean, not first, but it's got to come off the board.
Yeah. So my initial thought right now is you drain Soul. You're able to trade in your Knoll.
Yep.
And then you can play Touch of the Nathrezim. Or actually, you don't, because that's how math works, and it works out. Tour Guide is going to put you down to 8. You can then raise Dead to 7, which will then draw you your
Tamsin.
Tamsin, which is not playable this turn, but I think that's completely fine because now Donde has the ability to just play these Knolls again. Got a second Tour Guide down, which isn't the best. But
there you go.
Yeah,
Heal some more.
Uses the Nathrezim. I really like that. Just there's no need to keep them right now, and you just don't know what is going to come out from JR.
Yep, JR's down to 11 cards himself. And
yeah, a tap will get him to
theoretically 10 damage away from completing the quest. So
yeah, but here comes the swing turn.
Yep.
He's gonna heal back up to 20, play the second Scavenger. Donde still has his Soul Red in hand as well. Not great to a board like this, but this is a turn Donde is going to have to think of if he wants to play Tamsin or somehow try to clear the board. Tap is free.
I was just going to say tap would start the chain rolling.
Yeah, and that would put his Scavengers down to 1, and it would. My cat just threw food everywhere.
Okay. Cats do that.
But yeah, absolutely launched her food at me. But
not throw up wise, I hope.
No, like
Okay.
stepped on the bowl and catapulted it at my face. So that was scary at
Fire in a hole.
midnight. But as I was saying, the tap is free for Donde. It allows him to play both his scavengers and then he can actually bristle back. But
Gonna go.
looks like he's aiming more towards clearing with a soul rend here, and he does have the clear into the bristleback with the touch, or I suppose the mortal coil if he does so choose to play.
What? Maximizing on health restored.
Yeah, not only health, but this also leaves a minion on board, and it's really a battle of attrition. Now, Donde has used his last raised dead because he did just burn one,
Yep.
whereas JR, I believe, still has both of his raised deads in
Yep.
his deck.
Just called one up right now, so we'll see. There's the Viper. Trade that in, maybe.
Yeah, could definitely trade. I think the raised dead probably comes out here too. Just take the stuff you want
Ooh.
first. Gets the ooze, not the best, but the giant does come down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the turn where I was saying last turn Donde might have wanted to go with the scavenger turn because it's whoever makes the best board last, right?
Yep.
And with Donde not having a second raised dead, wow, that is a quite the trade.
Tradesies.
Yeah, this forces Donde, like he won the race to Tamsin. He has not been allowed to play Tamsin. He is now going to have to play her. Double Scavenger more than likely going to come down here depending on what this draw is off of the life tap. It is a hysteria.
Interesting. Okay.
So I know Donde did tech this. I wasn't sure if it was still in the deck specifically for this matchup, the mirror, because if your opponent is able to cheat out their giants faster than you are, Hysteria does a great job smashing 8/8s into 8/8s. Gets the full clear too.
And JR just eyeballs came out and is saying what? Donde had a little fist bump there for 2 seconds there, so
Yeah, no, that's
it's a big
really nice
big
turn
win.
by Donde.
Yep.
Knowing that he had the Hysteria in there and it wasn't out for him.
Get accustomed to the smell.
Yeah.
All right. JR gonna try and make board number 2. He's got to be careful here. Yeah, he's gonna proc his ooh, careful. Yes, there you go. So this is gonna proc, and now he's able to play Tamsin on the same turn here. Almost overdrew Tamsin actually. Oh my.
Okay.
Yes.
Stormwind shall share my
All right. Well,
It's a race now.
it's a race, but Donde has a lot. He's got the backfires. He does have
The
the
tap.
mortal coil.
Yep.
He's got the tap. He's got the double still. I mean, he's got enough damage, I think, to possibly draw through his entire deck here. Soul Rend is going to
Soul
be
Rend.
able to burn the rest of the cards off the top here if he just drains souls and Soul Rends. That'll kill 4 off the top.
See
And
what
he can even throw his own tour guide into this Soul Rend here if he so chooses to do. It would burn 3, allow him to tap, but actually bring him to the bottom of his deck.
Yeah.
Does not go for that. Wants to get these scavengers out, which I do like. He's finally able to solidify a board, and JR does not really have a way to fight back into this one. He's got the singular null. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Soul Rend to do some damage to see what happens, and touch of Nathrezim, probably or Mortal Coil.
Actually, he has a full clear if he played the null there first. Still has the full clear.
Yep. Mortal Coil and then Null.
Yes.
Or if he wants heal, you can go to touch.
Oh,
Oh, there's better.
That's a lot better. Yeah.
That's what some people say, more better.
That is more better.
Okay.
All right. Well, there is the
Down to 1 card each.
Theron for Donde. I mean, it's just a
Wow.
you can tap tour guide, mortal coil your tour guide. I guess
Here for the tour?
so. That does 2, and then it does 1. I guess at this rate, if you're Donde, you probably just play the spicy with the Antherodon. Nope, just gonna play Antherodon with the battle. All right,
Here it is. So it's
this is it.
battle master or go home.
So JR is going to be able to run this Nolan touch. He could play the Battle Master beside the Lifesteal and push a little bit more face. Trying to see if that would actually give him the advantage. Or he could just slap his own Anthrax down, but there's no easy way to deal with this 8-6 right now.
Muzzle their magic.
Just time to put minions on the board.
Yep.
Goes face.
Okay.
So that's 2. So Donde has 16, 17, 18, 19,
lethal?
20, 21. That's it. That's exact lethal with the tap and the fatigue damage coming out from Donde. Wins the mirror.
All right.
An absolute marathon of the Warlock mirror there. Oh boy.
That is crazy. So Donde with a comeback win. So that leaves JR's Paladin to come in and try and take care of Warlock shenanigans. So
That's the thing that we have here.
Yep.
Another one.
another one. So what do we have, Gordon, that THL fans like to see?
We have a game 5.
Nice.
Awesome. We've got JR on the Paladin. We've got Donde on the Warlock. Let's see how this goes. Donde's perfect season up for grabs. JR looking to play spoiler. If there's a deck that you want against Warlock, Paladin's pretty good for it.
Yep.
Looks to be more of the secret Paladin style just by seeing the Hammer of the Naru inclusion. But could also just tech a Hammer of the Naru. Alrighty, so Donde finds a little bit of unstable Shadow Bolt with the Spice Bread.
Yep.
Spice Bread is an interesting tech. What do you think about it, Saku?
I kind of like it, especially for Warlock there, where they do have heal, but then you get some really fast aggro decks that kind of knock you down before turn 5, and it's always when your hand is so big, it's an easy 8 or easy 9 health, right? For a Warlock to get that back.
So I'm curious if Donde, seeing the decks that JR was bringing, seeing that they weren't really aggro, why the spice? Because last game we actually saw, I mean, it was against the Warlock mirror, but it actually kind of just sat in his hand and rotted away.
Yeah.
So I'm not a huge fan of it. I think tech cards are, other than weapon tech, are a bit of an overkill.
Exuberance? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big tech card fan. It's just not my forte. So Test of the Nocturne is going to come out here just to test for the Yogg, more than likely.
Yeah.
Focus Will is actually huge because Donde can't unstable Shadow Bolt this now.
I just saw Donde's face. He just giggled. So.
Oh wow, Donde had the play. It was good, but I mean.
Yeah. So we know that JR is bringing Secret Paladin, as we all see. So.
Yeah, great top deck, and I mean, this is how Secret Paladin kind of starts running away with the board. I might have liked to see the Bannerman there. I think JR might have got a little bit too narrow-minded on the 3/4 top deck with the secret,
yeah,
because the Bannerman does the same thing, but actually buffs your hand.
Yeah,
and
Donde's...
you are always going to have a secret in play with the sword still up. You never have to swing with it there.
Yeah.
So,
or
I prefer the Bannerman myself.
Yeah. Because Galloping Savior is not going to get triggered anytime soon from Donde unless he's really ready to take care of what falls out of it, right? So
Exactly. He's probably just gonna let JR do his thing, soul rend the board. That's really what Donde is digging towards as a soul rend. He's also looking to, play flesh giants as quickly as possible, just draw through the deck, which he's got a bit of an awkward turn here. He does have the Goldshire Knoll, which is gonna deal with this 3/5 very nicely. JR hits a huge buff
Ooh.
on this banner, and so
Yep.
holding off that one turn did make for a way better Bannerman turn for himself.
So
And this is a turn Nani has to think about. This is exactly why cards like Spice Bread Baker, I don't like them because it makes you second guess what you're going to do. And the fact that you've got a heal for 7 in your turn, but it is extremely slow.
yeah,
The
and
better play, I think, is
Go ahead.
what Donde's making is the Knoll tap here. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, man, heal for 8's pretty good.
Well, yeah, and I think that's it's reading how the game is going, obviously too. So, but I can see both points because if you have your opponent's got minions on the board, does the spice really help you when next turn you're going to take more damage, right? So
Yeah. The biggest thing is knowing how much damage out of hand your opponent has.
yeah,
Whereas Paladin has the over the top by the Hammer of the Naru possible inclusion that Donde would be expecting. So double pack mules coming into hand. That is that backwards card that we're seeing there. JR's ever so nicely going to play it and absolutely destroy the spectator. We will be right back.
okay, thank you. Totally forgot about that.
No problem.
So, JR. Donde.
Ever so kindly plays the only one that would destroy our spectator, and
But we're back.
indeed he does. We are back and better than ever. Donde looks like he's rifling through this quest. This is the turn he decides to use the Spice Baker. Gonna get the full 9 heal. Very nice usage of it. It doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot. There is the Battleground Battlemaster, second one drawn into hand. Do you ever push 12 here? Do you ever push 12 to his dome here?
Why not? You have the opportunity. You get a 6/6 that's going to stick on the board too right afterwards.
Yeah.
So rip it.
Exactly what I was thinking. Why not? Biggest punish is the Soul Rend here, and it's not really that big of a punish. And he actually does take the trade, but a Tams and top deck really only has the Drain Soul that can work towards it.
Yeah.
Could go for a Soul Rend into a Mortal Coil turn. He is one off of part 2 completion, though. If he does go the Tamsin route and kills the Battle Master, he can play a Flesh Giants. Then we have 2 mana to tap, so that could... That heals us to 16, and then second Battle Master on Donde's side of things doesn't kill him, so could be the option he's looking to take.
I mean, you played this warlock deck quite a bit, right? Since
I love this warlock deck. It's probably my favorite deck that's been other than Death Rattle Hunter from a very, very, very long time ago. It's gonna go double Soul Rend. Holy, okay. This is a different route. I guess he's just respecting the fact that JR could have, but this is actually 12 damage from the top. Donde actually, this is man, I did not.
Hand of Vidal? Nope, can't do it.
Hand of Vidal won't get it because the Roam. I mean, the nerf saved Donde.
Yep. Okay. Tap and you're good.
He is actually. He does. Tap brings him back to life.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's just
Banks him an additional, but it does kill him. So the Soul Rend for free here is going to be able to turn the singular Bristleback in hand. 2 of them in hand, actually. The second Soul Rend gone.
there goes the
Soul is
Knoll.
gone as well. So
Yeah.
Come on, utilize that health total, Don. They tap. Gain yourself an extra health.
Is he gonna do it? He's thinking.
I mean, this is the swing turn, right? This
Yes.
is where he's gonna have to go in.
You get accustomed to the smell.
This is probably where he's gonna want to proc the Galloping Savior so he can get the additional
Yeah.
proc. Yeah, and just clear both of these off with the Bristlebacks and is able to heal up to 12. Oh, doesn't use the second Bristleback, goes for the Drain Soul.
Okay. JR looking at Samaru, but Samaru's not big enough to kind of handle what's going on.
No, it will not be. Hand of a Doll plus Conviction would get it up to a 7.
Yeah. Close.
Which, yeah, it's close, but close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, as me old dad would say.
You're right. So JR looking at Varian there. So Varian's a little bit slow, I think, in this particular instance. Few mules might do it.
She's going to go hand
There
of
we
a
go,
doll
hand of a
just to
doll.
clear off the Baron, Scavenger, and the Lifesteal.
And
Second Scavenger picked up. Donde does have the backfire for some additional draw.
so 3. The Bristleback on the 2-3, and then the Wind Fury for Battlemaster gives him what, 18? Or sorry, 16. But that's leaving himself open.
Leaves himself open. He does have the Raised Dead could draw him something. I mean, I kind of like seeing what you get before doing this Bristleback turn.
From the Raised Dead?
You
Yeah.
Yeah, just see the Raised Dead. Even the backfire, see what you get. Tap
First.
completes, which is fine. Get you a tour guide, that's okay. Maybe he wants the tour or the Raised Dead for the end of the Oh, he's doing that so he can guarantee try to get a Flesh Giant in this, and he does hit it. Actually gets the Spice Bread Baker as well. Going to heal up to 5 more for 19 and play the Flesh Giant behind it, or does he want to get the Giant out with the Baron Scavenger?
And that's what he chooses. So
Yeah,
You get accustomed.
JR is
might actually play this backfire. No, goes for the Tour Guide turn.
okay. Protecting the Giant and has the Battlemaster in hand. So we'll see. JR is just playing Varian there too.
It's his best option at this rate.
Ooh, no buffs.
It's going to get the Rush, does get the Taunt, and does get the Divine Shield. So it gets all of the above.
Okay.
Unstable Fell Blast is 2016 plus 6 is 22. Not quite enough for lethal, unfortunately. Raised Dead completes the quest. That's lethal. Yeah, Raised Dead completes the quest, plays Tamsin, is then able to Shadow Bolt, deals the 5 damage. Oh, actually, no, it's not, is it?
Because you get the thing that gets procced, Mr. 3-4. Right?
He just actually can't play the yeah, he can't play the Battlemaster this turn as well. Goes for the Shadow Blast to clear this off. How many cards has he played? So takes the 6 healing, throws down another Scavenger, and
JR chuckles there for a sec.
yeah, this is kind of where Paladin just, I mean, JR did the correct stuff. He had the best absolute board that he possibly could have, but Unfortunately, Warlock is a deck that can just win in pretty much any position possible. Uh, Still not out of it by any means.
Nope.
For the Alliance and my family.
We go for a roam
Roam.
into, and
A
then
couple
probably
mules.
conviction.
Yeah. To make it a little bit harder for Donde to bust through. I mean, 5/3s aren't nothing to.
It's still just lethal.
10. Okay, yeah, with the damage. Yep.
Haven't heard
Yep.
of me.
Just with the double drain soul
Yeah.
from the Tamsin here, even with just playing Tamsin and the tap backfire, things like that, I do believe it was just lethal. JR just going to leave, not going to let Donde get those satisfying attacks, and Donde remains flawless with that
Undefeated.
Warlock, it seems. Just absolute, really, really good play from Donde on that Warlock. No mean by JR, like, definitely played very, very well. I love the Paladin ban from Donde. He gave himself the best option, but Donde just seems to be, that guy on Warlock right now.
Yeah. So congrats to Donde. After a few shucks and gollies, where did that card come from? Good thing I could read lips.
Oh, can you read lips? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There. I was like, oh, I said a word
Oh heck.
or
Darn.
two.
Gosh.
Oh, darn.
I mean, can I just say straight off the bat, holy series, JR, like
Yes.
such a well played series. I didn't see any real mistakes or anything. That was just, sometimes the better draws went out, but like, hats off to him.
Yep. And what the surprising faces that we get to see, if anybody gets to watch the replay, is like after that Viper came out, and then you were
Okay.
you
So
were,
I
you
saw
were very vicious.
one. I saw one obviously in the,
Yes.
the game before that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I know he has one. I saw it get burned, and I'm like, he might have two. What are the odds if he has two the seconds in hand? Well, apparently 100%. But then we start seeing like oozes. Like that man hated Doomhammers.
Not only did he not play the ooze to kill it, he played it just to say, I had an ooze the whole time.
Like, geez, you did not want. I mean, I had lethal there. Like I had
Yeah.
the storm strike. I didn't see a potential way that was going to happen. But man, he good for him. That was some solid teching there. I guess it might have cost him some percentage points on the other end, because now you're teching so hard against that one matchup that maybe it helped my Warlock a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it did what it was there to do, I'm sure.
And that's exactly what we were talking about with, he brought and he got the win exactly what he was supposed to, but with double Neophyte, double Viper, and an ooze in the Warlock, that's 5 cards that are not being run in the Warlock deck.
Yeah.
So it's at that point it's trying to find out what those cards are on your side, but it also gives you the advantage because you kind of have the quote unquote better cards in your deck for that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, obviously, when you start giving up percentage points, it's a tough line to walk. But I think in Last Hero Standing, if any format is a viable format for that type of strategy, it's Last Hero Standing, because you can just say, I don't like this one matchup and I don't care. And maybe that was his plan the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my Warlock wasn't super ultra favored into his lineup, but I feel very comfortable on that deck, so I was okay with it once I saw that.
Were you
Yeah.
surprised with the Paladin ban at all, or knowing that he had his Warlock was teched for weapons and stuff? I'm not saying that your Paladin was running a lot of weapons, but still, it's kind of a
So I would say I was not surprised, simply because it was the deck that we spent the most time talking about.
Okay.
And that usually means it's getting banned. So that was just kind of like an omen. But no, on a serious note, no, I wasn't surprised. I banned Paladin and Legacy and Pro this week. So I definitely feel like it's one of those decks that it potentially just can snowball and sweep you. And it doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of really tough decisions a lot of the time. So he was probably like, I'll just take away, his most straightforward deck that has a chance of sweeping me, and then make him play the harder decks. Like Warlock's a harder deck for sure. It's definitely one that you can make those mistakes on if you don't order things properly. And I think it's a fine decision on his part.
Yeah, no, it at first when we first saw the Paladin ban, I was confused, but once we saw the matches progressed, I think it was his best ban. I think he did a really smart job taking it because, as you said, it was the highest one to sweep. But do you think anybody is going to stop your Warlock dominance? You're not perfect in games anymore.
No,
Anymore.
You're
Ron.
still
Unfortunate.
perfect in matches, or I guess vice versa, but you're perfect on Warlock.
So Ron's
Uh,
claiming,
I mean,
yes.
yeah, don't say that out loud because I don't want people to start banning it. But Blizzard
I
keeps
mean, you can
trying.
just play your other stuff. The priest looked fantastic as well. So I mean,
Yeah,
is it trial by fire with you, or like, what do you think? Do you think the coming nerfs are going to completely change it?
I mean, maybe if they just absolutely demolish Flesh Giant into dust, I don't know. It still seems playable. It's
It's-
still a good card,
they-
and I think the deck will live on.
They
Yeah.
just need to make a Flesh Giant 11 mana.
11
Why
mana.
not?
I just-
They've jumped it up, what, to, yeah.
Yeah,
Eight to
it went
9.
1 and 1, yeah,
Yeah.
8 to 9 to 10, and it's definitely obviously not as oppressive as it once was. And I think that's a good approach by them to go incrementally. As long as they're willing to do this every couple weeks, then I don't have a problem with them doing that. But every time we get settled into a meta here, like so we've had 4 weeks of all THL series, and we've had 3 extended submission weeks because of nerfs.
Yep.
So it's hard to kind of settle into a groove and find a lineup when you're on a week-to-week basis, really thinking about, okay, is this still viable now? Because I know it's all right on ladder, but how does it work in a hero lineup? How does it work in a legacy lineup? It's going to be one of those things that I'm looking forward to a little bit of stability, I think.
So
yeah.
Corden actually was making a point about spice.
Spice Bread Baker.
Good card.
I have to disagree. There was a turn
Okay.
there where Spice Bread Baker looked good, and I think you might have hesitated on playing it. You did go for the line of the tap into the knoll, but my take on tech cards of Spice Bread is they just sometimes sit in hand and are
Sure.
not. Maybe in the Warlock mirror, it's a enclosed vacuum, so I'm seeing that, but even in an aggro or something like that, do you think Warlock just has enough heal that Spice Bread Baker is just that card that's kind of an overkill of I need more healing. I want to heal for 9 in 1 turn.
I mean, it's definitely on the back end of cards. Like I would say it's on the bottom, 2 or 3 that the deck runs. And I only run one of it. I mean, you saw my whole deck. I only have 1 copy of it. And if I hit another one through Raised Dead, woo. But I think ultimately, it has the advantage of A, being a possible bomb heal like we saw. B, it progresses the Flesh Giant a little bit further and gives you a little bit more latitude to tap and do things that you want to do as Warlock to progress your quest. So to me, I don't think it's a bad card. Like I can agree with you that I don't think it's a core card, but I would say that at least one of them feels right to me, and I haven't found anything that I've wanted to take out of the deck or to put into the deck to take it out for. So if that comes to to a point where I see a lineup that really really needs like maybe extra AoE or something like that, yeah, maybe I get rid of that. But I think for right now, I think it's a pretty solid card in the deck.
So if you take it out, you must not be running the double. It's a weird 39th card for Warlock right now. I know a lot of people have been jumping.
Well,
around
Warlock's
the
that broken they can run 39 cards.
Or so 29.
Oh, okay.
It feels like 39 with raised
Yeah.
deads and with
True.
Tamsins.
Very true.
It definitely feels like 39 to 40 cards with all the, people talk about generation coming out of Mage and things like that. They kind of forget Warlock has a lot of, just not random generation. It's a very small pool of generation themselves. So
Yeah, if you play it right, you can be very close to assured what you get, and that's
Yeah.
part of the power of it too. Is like if I really want, giants, a lot of the time I'm shooting like a 2/3 shot of getting a giant, and if I don't get one, maybe I get a null. It's not bad. There's rarely bad outcomes with Raised Dead because the amount of minions that you run in the deck.
Crazy.
yeah, no, definitely have to agree with that. It's a very, very good card.
Well, with that, I want to thank Donde and JR for jumping on stream so late. Well, I guess it is late. but congrats there, fella. And any other final words to the rest of your team there for?
Well, I hope this gets us going in the right direction. I know we lost a game earlier. Was it either early? I think it was earlier today was the first game. I'm losing track of the days with it. My brain in my oldness. And this is it's a tough week. Tam Pam is always a good team. JR always plays me tough too. So that's not unexpected to see a 5-game series there. And like I said at the top, he played very well. So I'll definitely go back and watch the VOD, see if I can tighten things up because, when you're moving away from the sweeps into the 3-2s, starts to worry you that you're going to slip on the other side of the column there. But no, if anybody's tired of seeing me on stream too, like please feel free to step in and play. I don't have to play every week.
That's what we're waiting for, dude. We're waiting for you to slip up tonight, but you didn't. So and your teammate Ron Mexico didn't slip up either. So
he didn't. Okay, I didn't see. I keep focused on my match here.
Yeah.
Although Anfall, he did slip up.
Well, that one I did know. That one I did know.
Another 3-2. So I mean, they like Tam Pams and yourself, you guys, your team are keeping it extremely close.
And Quaz
it's going to come down to Big Ted and Sunday. So we'll have to see
all the confidence in Ted. All the confidence in Ted. He's
right?
Another. I don't know the outcome of because it must have been happening right now.
Yeah, it was 3-2 actually. So Quaz won. So with your win, I think that kicks you guys into a win for that week.
I mean, still points are good. I want to see Ted getting right on the mental side of the game. So we'll prep him up, make sure we get another win there, and keep hopefully driving towards the playoffs.
Got to get to that 20 points in the week, right?
Never a bad target.
Never at all.
I just saw a comment in chat right now where Based asked JR why the weapon tech. So JR says, "Fun fact: I brought the wrong warlock list."
Well, it worked very well.
Well, it did.
I mean,
it did.
In that one match, it worked very, very well.
I feel like it worked almost too well. So,
but that's pretty interesting.
Hey,
so yeah.
At the end of the day, it got close. A 3-2 with the wrong deck is as close as you could call it. So well piloted, JR.
I feel like that Warlock deck was the equivalent of the lightning strike meme, where it's like F your shaman in particular, and it's like hitting the one spot. Like that was his Warlock deck.
Yeah,
oh,
that was great. So, well, thanks again, Don Day, for jumping on stream again.
Thank you guys for having me.
You have yourself a wonderful night, and you get to relax now. So.
I sure do. You gents have a nice one as well. Also, double top 3 BGs. What? In your face, everybody. Top lobby score.
All right, whoa.
Yeah,
you got Master Nugent. Let's not get too crazy.
Master, his master win for a reason because you just get dubs. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
AKA top 3 for me. That's a win.
Congratulations to Don Date.
Don Date. Shout out to my Anadon for carrying tonight, even though I did better than him for once. That was cool.
So we're waiting for Don Day to flash some of his team symbols there with his fingers, but we got no cams on him. So
I was flashing because he. Okay, let me rephrase that. I was giving signs that you had requested because no one wants to see that other thing.
Digressing. There we go. Perfect. All right. Well, what a wonderful night. A little bit longer than used to, but with Y the Hunter defeating Mullahu, I'm going to say 3-2. So that was awesome for Pro Series. We got Battlegrounds with Rice Bowl coming in first and Sharkbait Hoo-Ha-Ha. So doing very well in Battlegrounds. And then finally, Mr. Man himself, Don Day, kicking ass and taking names with the Warlock. So, Corden, you got any final words before we jet for the evening?
No, it's been a good night. That's pretty much everything we could have hoped for. So, it was great to see some good Hearthstone action, and can't wait to see what else that the week holds.
Yeah. So, wish everybody good luck out there in their rest of their matches there in Legacy, Pro, Wild, and Hero. So we will see you guys. I'm not even sure. Actually, just reflecting on the schedule to see what's what's coming up for Saturday or Saturday Schoolstone, which is nothing at current. Salty Saturday, nothing current. Sunday Schoolstone, nothing current that I believe. And then I know Sunday Sunday Showdown. Yeah, Sunday Showdown. We got Mr. Python and Vino Spumoni on the Legacy series at 8 p.m. Then we got Battlegrounds. And then possibly have Jolt C and Kodomora on Legacy there at 10 o'clock on Sunday. It's a possibility. And then, as you mentioned, on Monday, there's a little something going on. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, the Nas Stone Wild I believe is what it is, coming up this Monday. So if you enjoy the Nas Stone and you enjoy Wild, well, we got a tournament for you. It is in the THL Maniac Mondays tournament section. Everything is going to be done on Battlefy, and reach out to Destarmo if you have any questions, but definitely get into that one. It's going to be crazy fast. Mr. Python playing on Sunday actually took the other victory not too long ago. So
Exactly. So, I know Donde's still here. So, one quick question for you, buddy. If you do play Nas Stone in Wild, would you play Warlock? Your Warlock list.
Oh man, that list. I think probably no. I have that Boomer APM, so it's not probably a good decision.
Four cards maximum per minute. That's my APM. So
yeah, I need to think for 12 seconds. That doesn't afford me enough time to actually make the plays.
That's right. So anyway, keeping tune with the THL Discord for all the antics and games and series and so have a great night, everybody. Saku and Corridon and Donde are out of here.
see ya.